Oh,
Joellen? Hello?
it's muted.
Can you hear us? Greg, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Oh, we figured it out.
Hallelujah.
Okay, let me see if I can record. Hold
Already
on.
recording.
Oh, it is
Yes, it's
already
recording.
recording. Yay, we did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
If you could give me a moment so I can bring my agenda tablet so I can see it better. And we will start. Okay. Why isn't it open? Um, okay. All right, this is a special meeting of the City of Barre Justice, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee. We acknowledge that Barre City was developed on Sokoke Abenaki land, which the Western Abenaki Nation never ceded, made treaty for, nor were they conquered. We aspire to create a space in our meetings that is inclusive, participatory, and equitable. We acknowledge we all come from different experiences and that our experiences may be affected by racism, sexism, classism, homophobia, ableism, and many other systems of oppression. We are here to address equity within the systems of our city. In order to inform the City Council of our findings, we acknowledge that systemic inequities exist and do not pay the personal experiences of marginalized and underrepresented community members. With that in mind, it is important that we are thoughtful of the impact of our words on each other in this space. With that, I am going to call the meeting to order. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. All right, I am Christopher Roberts. I am the current chair of this committee. The first item on the agenda is making adjustments to the agenda. Are there any? I have none. Nobody? Okay. All right, old business. We need to finalize the Vermont Community Fund grant expenditures. And Joellen, I think you want to talk about those?
well, I don't know. Greg, do you want me to continue or would you like to present?
Oh, I'll just present what the overview is here. The thing is we have some funds available left from that grant. If anyone has taken the Let's Talk program, you'll know what that's about. So we have some $1,787 left to spend, and Joellen has been working with getting to see what we could do with it. And we've come up with a couple of things. The first of which is to pay Christy Clemens, who was the facilitator of the Let's Talk program, to sort of be our coach as we try to develop our own program based on the one that she presented. And so she would be available to, help us get things organized, help us say, I don't know, if we needed help in a particular area, she'd be able to step in and say, hey, this is how you can do it. So that's the first item, and it looks like it could run around $440 of that grant money. The next one is to hire a graphic artist to developed a digital version of the Barry timeline that, well, if you took the program, the Let's Talk program, that was one of the parts of it. So the idea is to have an interactive graphic timeline that people can use either online, or they can use it in their own presentations or seminars or whatever they want to use it for. And the next item that and the graphic artist, the estimate is around $547 of the grant money. And then there's the last item that we can use it for is the flags and mounts, because some businesses in Barre expressed willingness to support the Gay Pride Week, and and especially by flying the flag, and we can use this grant money to pay for those flags and the mounts for them so that they can fly them during the key times. And that estimate is about $800 of the grant money. Now, we don't have to do any of these, or we have to do some of them, but we don't necessarily have to do them in that order. We can prioritize, because we're not exactly sure how much it will cost each item. It's just estimates. So if we had got solid estimates in place and we saw that we didn't have enough in one area, we could reassign some of the funds to cover that. So that is the whole long and short of that, I think. Did I miss anything?
Well, just in order to impound the money, we would have to, in order to be able to meet the deadline of the final report, which is July 1st, we would have to have purchase orders for these things that will be paid out in the future. For example, we're probably not going to be able to organize a Let's Talk series for a few months, right? I mean, it takes, judging from the last experience, it takes some time. So, and also, who would want to do that during the summer? That's, we decided long ago that that was not a good time to hold an indoor two half-day sessions. People would not want to do that. So I think the first time we did it was in October or November was the first plan, and so she would help us once to plan it, not just to plan it, but also coach us along in terms of. She was really skilled at this, and she could help us during our first foray. And the suggestion was to have two facilitators who were volunteer facilitators instead of just one, because we could kind of work off each other. In any case, there's that. So we kind of have to make the decisions like now in order for me to be able to put together the purchase orders and put them through the system so that I can write the report.
So do we vote? Go ahead.
I was going to suggest, if we're actually going to be making expenditures, that we probably should warn it and do that at the June meeting.
I don't know if you remember the history of this, William, but the history is that the city council decided they wanted to enter into this grant, and that we were the purveyors of the grant. We were the ones to organize it and operate it. And then when they refused to use it the way that they agreed it could be used, it got bumped back to us in terms of how to spend it. And I went through a lot of conversations with the funder about what types of things would be amenable to the funder, and they agreed to these three things. So, unless you just want me to drop the whole thing and let, I mean, I have to admit, I'm very frustrated about this because I've been writing grants for many years. This is the worst grant I have ever administered in terms of meeting deadlines. Some of them were floods, I agree. There were some serious setbacks, but the worst was trying to have the city actually do what they said we were going to do with this grant. So it's been a long road renegotiating all of this stuff, and I'm at my wits' ends, frankly. I'm saying I'm not on the committee anymore, but I'm saying, hey, let's just get it done, do it. This is agreed to by the funder. I can send the email from them to you if you wish, but I think I would like you to just decide to do this.
So if I could make a suggestion, you can vote tonight, and to William's point, you can also then just ratify, you can put it on a warning for June and ratify it then. Because you, if you vote on it tonight and you agree to it, you can move forward with it and then ratify it after the fact. Because it's not warned, if that's what William's concern is.
Yes, I think if we're spending money, generally if you're spending money, and it may be our money to spend, but if you're spending money, the first I heard that we were doing this was now. And so if something's not warned, I think,
Wasn't it warned?
It says finalizing the Vermont Community Fund grant expenditures on the agenda.
On the agenda.
Okay.
Was warned.
okay,
So I guess you're
it
okay.
didn't get into the specifics, but I
Okay.
mean, we probably, legally, perhaps we can do it tonight. I'm just addressing that. I just have that concern.
Fine,
It's been warned, so.
yeah,
Um,
so we can choose the vote, and then if we need to, we can ratify it.
all right, what I would like to do, I could briefly summarize the three items again, please? And I'm assuming the totals for the three are covered by what's left on the grant?
Yes.
Okay.
And to summarize again, one was to hire Christie
Christie, That's
as
400.
as a coach. Second is to hire a graphic artist to develop a digital version of the timeline the timeline that we used at the beginning of those sessions. And the third was to buy the flags and mounts for the Gay Pride flag for local businesses who would like to fly them.
Okay, is there any discussion about any of those items?
Well, I have, I have, there was recently an event in Montpelier in which there was an organization here in Barre that basically disrupted the event entirely due to the gender identity of the speakers. And I had some concerns about that. As far as I don't have an issue with the graphic artist. I don't have an issue with the paying of Christy Clemens. I've always had a problem with the idea of pride, because pride being one of the deadly sins. And so the idea of pride in something, and it doesn't have to be gay pride, it can be other types of pride as well, I have concerns about. So,
Okay. So noted.
So can we break it into three votes?
Well, we could do that. I see no reason why we can't just vote on all three, but, I'm happy to, break it into three.
That would be the
All right, so,
equitable thing to do.
all right, so, for the,
And someone has to
payment.
make a
Motion.
I'm sorry,
Someone has to
Joan?
make a motion.
Yeah, I'm about to make a motion. So for Christy Clemens, to pay for her service as a coach, I motion that we approve the funding. Is there a second?
I'm gonna call a point of order, because I
Yes.
think you're the chair and you can't make a motion.
Oh.
Yes.
James,
But someone else could make that same motion.
So
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve payment to Christy Clemens. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, okay. Does someone want to make a motion for the graphic artist?
I can do it. I'll make a motion to vote on payment for the graphic artist. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
no, you have to let
Oh, yeah,
him.
oh, yeah, that's right. You know all the rules.
Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, okay, the motion's passed. And the third,
Was it for flag mounts?
It was for pride flags and mounts.
Pride flags and mounts. So I'll make a motion to vote on payment for pride flags and the mounts that are needed. Do I have a second?
all in
Second.
favor?
Wait, we need a second.
I think
I
I heard.
second.
Oh, Greg?
Yep.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any
All
opposed? I'm sorry.
Nay.
Okay.
Aye.
So William,
One against.
okay.
Okay. I guess I need to read Robert's rules of order.
We'll keep you in line.
All right, so that's old business. Is there, for new business, we want to talk about the future of our committee and any possibilities of reorganizing. I'm happy to serve as chair. It is a big time commitment and I have not been as faithful to my duties as I would prefer. However, now that we know we can have meetings via Zoom, that makes it somewhat simpler. So, I'm prepared to stay on as chair unless anyone has an objection to that, and I would not mind if anyone did. No objection, all right. So I would also like to discuss this whole issue of meeting via Zoom, because there was some acrimony about it. And I guess I would say for the record, I was somewhat confounded by the city manager's written concerns that we were being perhaps unfair about our concerns of holding the meeting here. To me, those concerns seem kind of self-evident, especially given current circumstances. I mean, here in Vermont, we had someone taken into custody by federal authorities. You know, for immigration reasons. And so I can well appreciate and understand the public's concern about coming to this venue for a meeting of the nature of this committee. So I just wanted to get that out on the record that I disagree with the city manager. I understand where he was coming from. We don't have an animus toward the police. We don't have any animus towards EMS or the fire department. That has nothing to do with it. It's just the chilling effect, I guess I would put. That's how I put it, of having the meeting here. So I would, and it is possible to meet elsewhere. We were informed. One of the big issues seems to be, having access and city employees being able to allow us to have access. So if it's possible for us to meet during regular business hours, that's an option, and then we could meet in another venue. Otherwise, it seems if we're gonna meet after work hours, we would need to meet here. That seems to be the only venue that's available. So I'm personally much more in favor of holding, since the law allows it, holding our meetings via Zoom only. But you know, I can't make a motion on that. But I just wanted to get this out on the record. And
Can,
that's
can
all
we do it?
that's-
Can we do it Zoom only?
Yes,
Let you.
Yes, we can.
We can.
I wrote an email to Nicholas. I went to the Secretary of State's website and there's two to look at open meeting law, and it clearly states that if you're an advisory only body, which is what we are, we don't make any decisions. We don't serve in a quasi judicial manner. I don't have the email in front of me, so I'm sorry, I don't have all of the terms, but if you don't do any, if you're just an advisory body, you can meet remotely. And I sent that to Nicholas and he pushed back and said, well, I think that all committees have to meet this way. This is what I sent out to committees. And I said, can you please tell me how the Jedi Bee committee is not an advisory only committee? And he read it again and agreed with me, and so is going to allow us to have remote only meetings.
Yeah,
So
congrats. That's 2 years of work there.
yeah.
So, you know, I think that to serve the needs of the community that we're serving as a committee, I think a Zoom only meeting is the best course of action. That's my opinion.
I'll make a motion.
To have Zoom only meetings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have some concerns about that. You know, we're assuming that everyone has the ability to get on Zoom.
So,
And given, you know, given what we deal with, there may be people who don't have that ability who would
so I
like,
guess
who would like to
the-
participate.
so the question then is, are all of us available during work hours? I know I have flexibility to meet during the day. Does everybody else?
I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about the public.
No.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
if we want to have a venue.
yeah,
Other than
Oh, okay,
here,
yeah,
at least one of us needs to be able to
yeah.
be there. Or, you know, even a Zoom meeting during the workday for some people is problematic.
I personally could do it, depending on the time of day, but yeah. And that was another issue I wanted to bring up about what would be a mutually convenient day and time for us to meet going forward, if this time doesn't work. So anyone wants to chime in on that, that would be useful too.
Well, I have meetings typically on the third Thursday of the month. We happen to not be meeting today. On the second Monday of the month, and then I have meetings on the second and third Tuesdays of the month. Other than that, I'm generally available.
Could you do a meeting during the day?
No.
No.
But what is the earliest, what is the latest that you could start a meeting?
I think they set up to 4:30.
So that would be like 3:30 in the
So a
afternoon.
4 o'clock meeting or something, assuming the location, let's say it's in City Hall. The person who attends in person, let's say it's Matt. Would be able to just leave at 5 or whatever and the door would lock. We wouldn't need any city people. To, close up for us. I don't know, but I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, you would have to have it, I mean, the whole purpose of having and the meeting, and I don't see personally a problem with meeting in the safety building. If people are going to meet by Zoom anyway, then they can meet by Zoom anyway, even if we are in the safety building. And
Mm.
if people aren't able to meet by Zoom, and I'm talking about the public here, then they can go to the safety building.
Yes.
I also note you mentioned the people who were detained by the feds for but I believe that the police in Vermont are not allowed to cooperate with the feds, so I don't think that that would be an issue.
I think there's bigger issues of meeting at the public safety building, William. That's my impression. And I hear the concerns that Greg is bringing up and the concerns that you're bringing up. I also think that we have to be, because we are the JEDI committee. I think we should be inclusive
Mhm.
and recognize that there may be some people who are not able to attend by Zoom, and there are some people who are not going to feel comfortable coming to the public safety building.
Right, and having
Whether it's because of being detained, whether it's because they have some sort of trauma with the police department, because they're concerned about racial profiling, whatever it might be, they might have concerns about coming to the public safety building. So it's not an ideal place for this particular committee to meet.
But if we're meeting hybrid, then the people, unless you have both a concern about meeting at the public safety building and an inability to do Zoom, having a hybrid meeting at the public safety building would work.
Well, if you're going to say that we have, if some of the committee is saying that you need to have in-person options, then I wouldn't recommend that your in-person option is
Here.
at the public safety building, for the simple fact that, to Greg's point, if the people who want to attend don't have the ability to attend by Zoom, then this is their only option.
In the evening.
Yeah.
During the day, I think, I mean, I guess we'll have. Wait till next time, so I can confirm whether we could have a meeting at 4 o'clock, let's say, and have that at another city venue and,
It would be City Hall or Alumni Hall.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not require city people to lock up. So I'm willing to hold this issue in abeyance till our next meeting if people agree.
Do you want to try to find a different date or time, or do you
Yeah,
want to
well,
do
that's
that?
the other issue, a date and time.
Okay, so do you want to reach out to the city manager to see if there's a date and time that's available at
Yes,
Alumni Hall or City Hall
yes.
that we could use, and then move the JEDI meeting to a
Yeah.
standing meeting on that day
Yeah.
and time?
That would be my preference.
Okay. Do you want to do that, or do you want me to reach out, Chris?
I'm happy to do it, but if you want to do it, I
I'm happy to ask him, it's no
you
problem.
probably have a better relationship with Nicholas than I do. So if you want,
I'm not sure about that, but I can reach out.
okay, thank you.
Sure.
So for now, maybe we should not even schedule our next meeting until we know.
Yeah. Well, you have, I mean, depending on when it is, like if it ends up being, the third week, you could schedule it for June if we can figure it out by the end of this week.
Yeah, okay.
Or the beginning of next week, you could still warn it.
I'll
with plenty of
warn
time.
it, and schedule,
Yeah.
alright, so we'll do
I'll
that.
be in touch with him tomorrow, and then I
Okay.
can let you all know.
So we'll schedule it, I'll send you all an email early next week. William, if you could email me those bad evenings again, that would be helpful.
Okay.
And I will tell you that, there's a new committee member. His name is, it says Carlos, but his name is, everyone calls him Rick. And I
Mhm.
talked to him the other night and he said that he right now is working 2 jobs
Mhm,
and that's why he couldn't be here tonight,
mhm.
but he does plan to attend. So I just wanted to let you know that he's been newly appointed, but he's just not here.
This isn't,
He was at the Let's Talk About It.
Yeah.
Okay.
this isn't the Rick who works for the city, right? Or is that him?
No, different Rick. No,
Different.
Rick doesn't work for the city anymore.
Oh, he doesn't?
Rick Taft, no,
Okay.
no.
Oh, okay.
No,
So the Rick that has been writing, that is the new member.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I wasn't even aware, I just assumed that was Rick.
no,
Yeah, he works for community justice or something?
yes, exactly.
Restoration?
Yeah,
Okay. So that means that we currently have 6 members, or I don't, let me see,
I believe so.
Greg, Matt, Sean, William, myself, and Rick. So, Sonia, you're not a member, right?
I'm a liaison. No, I
You're a
can't
liaison.
vote.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
just a liaison to
Yeah,
the city
so we have
council.
6 members. I think that's all we can have. I don't think.
No, there's other open,
Mhm.
sorry, I just looked at it tonight and there's some open spots on your,
Oh, I
committee.
thought we had a composition of 6.
I think it's 9, actually.
9,
I think so.
but some are like student, aren't they?
yeah, there's 2 student, you have William, Christopher, Greg, Carlos, then you have 2 vacant seats.
I thought Matt was,
Oh, sorry, wait, hold on. I always forget that I have to scroll over. No, Matt, you're not listed on here.
Well,
well, I thought Matt, did
I
you
thought he
apply?
was.
No, he did, he got
I've been-
appointed.
I've been-
Oh, no, you're right there. It was way over here.
oh,
So, yes, and there's Matt. So,
And Sean and I have a city, we need to be approved by council in June.
oh, okay, so then you will be. So then that, you're on there, but then that will mean there's still just 1 vacant seat and then 2 student seats.
Okay, so you're counting Sean too.
I think he will take the other vacant seat.
Okay.
There's 2 vacant seats right now and
Okay,
2 vacant student seats.
all right, so we'll have 1 vacancy.
We'll still have 1 vacant
Two
seat,
students.
okay, and 2 student vacancies.
And I was thinking about this. How would we make known that we're looking for someone in an equitable way? You know, I'm wondering about that. So any ideas?
Do you mean just generally or for students?
Both,
Okay.
both. You know, I mean, I think I'd love to see a woman on this committee. But we can't say that, obviously, you know, but I'm just wondering what people's thoughts are about that. So it would be nice to have a full 7-member committee.
Could we reach out to like the guidance department at the high school? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they're going away for the summer soon, but yeah,
But something to work
I
with.
guess I'm thinking more of that, you know, the actual committee, you know, the remaining member. Um, I don't know how we customarily advertise these.
I don't know how.
Um,
I think the city council puts out something about this time of year, looking for people for various committees starting in July.
Okay,
Am I misremembering that?
I don't know.
that's how I remember getting on this committee initially a long time ago. It was, you know, I don't know where I heard about it. It might have been in Front Porch Forum. But if council takes that responsibility, fine. But, you know, I think we should actively solicit, you know, applications to fill that remaining slot.
Mhm.
So, as for other business, we still have the 2 committees, the education committee and the policy committee. I would like to continue the work with those subcommittees. I don't have the information in front of me, frankly, for both, but I mean, we kind of dealt in an ancillary way with the education committee, you know, approving funds for Christie. But I'll definitely want to discuss this more at our next meeting. Because I would love to start researching ordinances and this kind of thing in terms of equity and inclusion issues, and which is the charge of that subcommittee that I'm on, I believe, with William. So anyway, that would be a topic for next time. Does anyone have any thing they want to bring up for future business at this time, where you'd like to see this committee go and do? I mean, this will be an ongoing, evolving discussion, but, you know. Any ideas? Nothing. No. When there are no visitors, no public comment. So, we're gonna set the next meeting date when we have the information from Nicholas. I will be in touch with you, all of you, early next week, and, you know, we'll pick a day and a time at that point. Obviously it'll be sometime in June. And, if no one has anything else, and someone wants to make a motion to adjourn, that would be great.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? No, the ayes have it. We are adjourned until June. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good evening.